Real quick, this is my alt channel, and my main channel is in danger every day of getting banned as a result of talking with these amazing people very candidly. So please do me a favor and subscribe down below. Helps me out a lot. Get the hell on it, doggone it. Raw is the chance. Survive graduation. Snake is eternal. Thank you.
True.
I appreciate you.
I kind of gave you an idea of like, I was like, oh yeah, I left like my previous company over this thing, but that was the second company I was in. I've been in
You're
two
just
companies.
a bad person, is what you're just a bad employee.
I've been VTubing for like just a little bit over 2 years, and I've gone through 2 companies. But
you're like a trash. You're trash bag.
Kind of, but I've kept my IP the whole time.
That's good.
Kind of. I lost my IP and then I got it back. There's a story to that. The first time I graduated, the second time I left, that was not on me. All right, I left. I felt I was punished unfairly.
Right.
That's it. There's no third time yet.
So the second time you were punished unfairly, or the first time?
The second time. The first time I just said fuck this. This is a sinking ship, and I left. And within the month it crashed.
Yeah. So I was doing a little bit of research, like the most minimum research possible, and I saw there was like 2 different Twitters. And I was like, wait a second, this is a different one than the first one I looked up. So there's like 2, you were under 2 like kind of company banners, right?
Yeah, I think my old, so then like on my current Twitter I have like the namesake, I think it's Close Collective. That's like the little group I like made with like my friends after I graduated the first time. But on the old Twitter I think would have probably still said Lucid. I might have still been in Lucid when I got banned from that one, I'm not sure.
That's what I saw, Lucid.
Yeah, so Lucid is the second company I joined. They're great people. We just, just a difference in opinions, I guess.
Yeah.
But,
and monies. When I talk to other VTubers, I've talked to VTubers, man, that are like, that rule the freaking world. And I'm like, damn. And I like look up there. You can look up anybody's earnings, like 2 seconds. And I see these VTubers making 400 grand a year. And I'm like, damn. So I'm like, wow, that's great. And I was talking to this one undisclosed VTuber that made something like that, and they get like 10% of that, like 10. I was like, that is fucking, yeah, that is some like, if I take a guess, hold on, wait, let me guess, they're from a Japanese company. Well, yeah. How'd I fucking know? Yeah. So, if I said it, it would be so damn obvious, and then it would be mad at me. So the first company I was in was a Japanese company, right? And for context, I've never been a content creator, right? I got dragged into this, all right? This was never my intention, my goal, my dream, none of that. Same.
I used to do voice acting. And I got this one Japanese company, right? So I was going to quit voice acting because it was bad for my health. Voice acting turned me into an alcoholic. Right as I was going to quit, this this Korean man in Japan messaged me and he was like, hey, do you want to do this thing? It's VTubing. Do you know what VTubing is? And I was like, no. And he was like, well, look, it's like voice acting. And I was like, okay. And then that's how I got roped in. And then it turned out to be like a big, like an NFT thing. And like, just, there was like all of the like company's funding was basically locked behind whether or not we pushed NFTs, which was basically just, yeah, the company was being funded essentially by like all of the backing for it was basically just like, yes, this is the next NFT scam. I'm gonna make so much money. But the CEO and like no one else in that VTubing company actually wanted to go with that. So all the funding was fucking limited, and I was like, you know what, fuck this, I'm out. And so I left because I found a loophole in the contract. So the contract was written by a fucking 10-year-old. And I fucking dipped, and a month later it fucking died.
I'm shocked. I'm completely shocked because NFTs quite literally came and went within a couple weeks of what it felt like. And I remember, oh, dude, I've been making videos about GameStop for years. Just like you said, I didn't choose this. It chose my ass. So I just made one GameStop video. One. And then I just made like a guitar video and random shit here and there. And then I took like 2 weeks off YouTube because I was working full time as a district manager, like contracted out for Walmart. And I just went to bed one day and woke up and I was a YouTuber because the algorithm was like, hey, bro, here's 1 million views to your GameStop video. And I was like, oh, shit.
I really like the GameStop stuff. Yeah. That's how I found you originally. No offense, but I've never really like watched your content aside from like Oh, aside from like fellow like GameStop workers and employees stuff like that, or like other managers sending me like, oh, look at this guy, he's talking about GameStop again. When do you think this thing's gonna die? And I was like, soon, get out. And they're like, nah, I'm comfortable. I like living in my mom's like house and having my pop collection.
Oh no, you're one of those. God.
No, I'm not one of those. I've just met tons of those.
Oh, okay,
so
cool.
see,
like, I misinterpreted. I was about to be like,
no. I've met so many of those, and it's just like, God, like, have you no aspirations,
dude? No, there was this girl that worked. She worked at one of the other stores, and she like loved pop vinyls. I have like 4 that people sent me in my PO box, and that's all I have. This girl sent me pictures, and every room in her house or her apartment was lined with pop vinyls.
Yeah,
and
also just like stacked. Yeah,
and she keeps them like that. She keeps them like in a database, and she has over $10,000 worth of pop vinyls. And I'm like, you make barely 30 grand a year, and you've spent this before taxes. You spent like a whole year almost after taxes income on pop vinyls, little plastic goofy things, big heads. What is wrong with you?
Yeah, it is bewildering to me. The like the mental illness that is pop collection.
It's gross.
But fuck, I was saying something. I forgot what it was. It must have not been important.
Oh no, it wasn't. No. So, anyways, yeah. I started YouTube. Same thing. Didn't ask for it, and it happened, and just started streaming, and it just really worked out. But when it comes to VTubing, there's so. Explain to me some of the corporate sides of things, and if you can, like what they ask from you. I know a lot of them will have complete access to all your social media and stuff like that.
Yeah. So I got real lucky, and the Japanese company that I joined, they were very much like, oh, we are for the VTuber, but like from like a Japanese like perspective of it. So it's just like, like their super, super good Japanese contract is about equivalent to like mediocre like US company contract. Right. Yeah. So like what they were offering, they were like, yeah, this is like the best in the industry off of their like Japanese company analytics for the Japanese like the Eastern market of VTubing. It's like, yeah, this is pretty good. But I also live in America.
Yeah.
So but yeah, and so it's like, okay. Like it wasn't like a terrible contract, right? I think the split was like, I think it was 40-60, so I get like, they take 40%, which is extremely, it's extremely good for like a Japanese company, which I was like, yeah, you know what, that's fine. I can live with this, right?
Yeah.
And then after I left that company, I talked to a few people from US companies that were interested in like picking me up. They were like, what? The average here is 70-30, and some companies even go as low as like 80-20, and it's just like, oh.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. And I know a lot of large VTubers that are getting 80-20. And I also know of VTubers that are completely indie that are killing it, like just nuking it in orbit. And I'm like,
well, 100. Yeah. Well, 100 minus 30% from YouTube, and an extra percentage if you're like if you're watching on a fucking iPhone, like some kind of like gremlin.
Yeah, who does that? God, these
50 bastards. If you're on Twitch.
These bastards. Billy, yeah, I got you, Billy.